Hello, and welcome back to our channel. Today, we're journeying back in time to one of the most cataclysmic events in recorded history. We're talking about an explosion so powerful it was heard thousands of miles away, an event that plunged a part of the world into darkness and sent shockwaves, quite literally, around the globe. This is the story of the 1883 eruption of Krakatoa, the day the world shook. Our story begins in the Sunda Strait, a stretch of water between the Indonesian islands of Java and Sumatra. Here, the volcanic island of Krakatoa had been quiet for over 2 centuries. To the local populations and the Dutch colonists, it was just another feature of the landscape. But deep beneath the surface, immense geological forces were building. The Indo-Australian plate was grinding beneath the Eurasian plate, creating a subterranean pressure cooker of molten rock and gas. In May of 1883, the volcano began to stir. Minor rumblings and steam vents were first noticed by passing ships. Captains reported seeing ash clouds and hearing unsettling noises. For the next few months, Krakatoa put on a continuous, low-level show. It was impressive, even attracting a few curious tourists, but it was just a gentle prelude to the terrifying symphony that was about to unfold. No one could have predicted the sheer scale of the violence that was brewing. Then came Sunday, August 26th. The activity escalated dramatically. By early afternoon, a massive column of ash, gas, and pulverized rock had rocketed 15 miles into the sky. The initial explosion was deafening, a continuous, thunderous roar that terrified people for hundreds of miles around. The sky darkened, and a rain of hot ash and pumice began to fall, blanketing nearby islands and turning day into an eerie, suffocating night. But this was only the beginning. The worst was yet to come. The climax arrived on the morning of Monday, August 27th, at 10:02 a.m. local time. Krakatoa unleashed a series of 4 gargantuan explosions. The third of these was the most powerful, an event that beggars belief. It is estimated to have had the force of 200 megatons of TNT, that's about 13,000 times the power of the atomic bomb that devastated Hiroshima. The sound it produced is considered the loudest in recorded history. It was clearly heard over 3,000 miles away in Perth, Australia, and on the island of Rodrigues near Mauritius, almost 4,800 kilometers across the Indian Ocean. People there reported hearing what sounded like distant cannon fire. The sheer force of this blast obliterated 2/3 of the island of Krakatoa. What was once a landmass simply vanished, collapsing into the now empty magma chamber below. This collapse triggered the most devastating consequence of the eruption, a series of colossal tsunamis. Waves, some reaching heights of over 120 feet, taller than a 10-story building, raced outwards at hundreds of miles per hour. They crashed into the coastlines of Java and Sumatra with unimaginable fury. The devastation was absolute. Entire villages and towns were wiped from the map in an instant. The waves swept inland, carrying debris, buildings, and people with them. Official records state that over 36,000 people lost their lives, though the true number is likely much higher. It was a human tragedy on a scale that's difficult to comprehend. One Dutch warship, the Biru, was anchored in a bay and was carried nearly 2 miles inland by the wave, where it was left stranded in a forest almost 30 feet above sea level. It's a chilling testament to the power of the water. But the effects of Krakatoa weren't just local, they were global. The explosion injected an enormous amount of ash and sulfur dioxide into the stratosphere. This fine veil of aerosols spread around the entire planet, creating spectacular atmospheric effects. For the next several years, people all over the world witnessed intensely vibrant, fiery red and orange sunsets. The particles in the atmosphere scattered the sunlight, painting the sky with colors that had never been seen before. In fact, many art historians believe that the blood-red skies in Edvard Munch's famous painting, The Scream, were inspired by the sunsets he witnessed in Norway in the years following the eruption. This global veil of ash also had a significant impact on the climate. It acted like a giant sunshade, reflecting solar radiation back into space. As a result, global average temperatures dropped by as much as 1.2 degrees Celsius for the next 5 years. This led to cooler summers, harsher winters, and altered weather patterns across the globe, affecting agriculture and daily life far from the Sunda Strait. The eruption also created a scientific first. The explosion generated an atmospheric pressure wave that was so powerful it traveled around the world not once, not twice, but at least 7 times. Barograph's instruments that measure air pressure in cities from London to San Francisco recorded the pulse as it passed and then passed again after circling the globe. It was the first time a single event had been recorded on a truly planetary scale, marking a milestone in our understanding of global geophysics. In the aftermath, the area around Krakatoa was a sterile, lifeless landscape of pumice and ash. But life is resilient. Within just a few years, grasses and ferns began to take root. Insects, birds, and reptiles returned. Scientists have been able to study this natural laboratory of repopulation ever since. And where the old mountain once stood, a new volcano began to emerge from the sea in 1927. It was named Anak Krakatau, which means child of Krakatoa. This new cone has been growing ever since, a constant and active reminder of the immense power that still lies dormant beneath the waves, a cycle of destruction and creation that continues to this day. The eruption of Krakatoa in 1883 was more than just a volcanic explosion. It was a global event that demonstrated the profound and far-reaching power of our planet. It taught us about tsunamis, atmospheric science, and the interconnectedness of Earth systems. It remains a stark reminder of nature's capacity for both awesome creation and terrifying destruction. Thank you so much for joining us on this journey back to 1883. It has a truly mind-boggling story, isn't it? If you found this as fascinating as we did, please hit that like button and consider subscribing for more deep dives into the events that shaped our world. Let us know in the comments what other historical events you'd like to see us cover. Until next time, stay curious.